Mary Jo Kopechne, you know, she's one of the original hashtag Me Too victims. And 49 years ago, her story was brushed under the carpet. And I can tell you there's some very powerful forces that tried to put negative influences on me, tried to put pressure on me not to release this movie. And I said, I won't have any part of it. I'm going to make sure she has her truth in her moment. This is a terrific movie, Chappaquiddick. It's a movie that the first time I saw it, it grabbed me because it's a movie about the truth. And with Mary Jo Kopechne being one of the original hashtag Me Too victims, I felt this is something we must tell. This is a story we must share with the world. And I'm very proud that we're here this night to start the process of sharing her story.
I'm at a little bit of a different place and I'm looking for new challenges, and I got this script and was like, yeah, this feels right. And I also loved that it challenged my own perceptions of Camelot and the Kennedy family and all this. I've always held them in such high regard, and I think, and I still do in many respects, but it's important to appreciate the whole picture. There's a lot of complexity there. It's ultimately about just some really bad judgment in the aftermath of a tragic accident, and judgment that's sort of born out of a reflex for self-preservation, which I think is something that's very human. But there are times when we really have to transcend some of our base instincts and do the right thing. It appears Ted really failed to do that in this case. But I got to play the character who was trying to do the right thing. And so I think I came out ahead. I don't know.
Do you have some of the best?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I wanted to make this movie. I was desperate to play this part. I'm very proud of what we did, what we've made. I think this film's going to, last the test of time. Ted did something which is hard to forgive, if it's forgivable. But then, that's human and that's life, and he lived on, and his legislative record stands the test of time. What he stood for is on the right side of history: education, civil rights, so many things.
It's a story of tragedy, really, and it also is a story that demonstrates the power of wealth and the power of the Kennedy name, and how if you have wealth and power and privilege, you can start erasing some of those consequences, and that's what happened. Now with the Me Too movement, we can't forget about her, so we have to say, hey, Mary Jo Kopechne, and honor her memory, as we also talk about the legacy of Ted Kennedy.
Chappaquiddick was the scandal, the accident, the tragedy, where a young girl, very vibrant, intelligent, dedicated young girl died unnecessarily and accidentally. But it was the event that changed the course of Teddy Kennedy's career. But, it's been 50 years since the accident and almost a decade since Teddy passed away. And, I'm a fan of Teddy Kennedy, and I do realize that I've had this sort of blind spot about this episode in his life. And it just felt time to re-examine it and, examine it honestly.
I mean, when I was sent this script, I couldn't put it down. I think like a lot of people from my generation, I didn't know very much about this specific incident, and I thought it was an important story to tell. I'm very proud to be, showing a very small glimpse into her world. Obviously, it's really only one day/night of her life, but there are a lot of things that we don't know about this woman, and I think she has been sort of treated unfairly in the past, just with the sort of press and the way she was portrayed after her death, and so I'm happy to tell just a part of her story.